Alright, so this is our AP Euro 2023 end of the year project. We're making various World War II events and structures in Minecraft. So here we have our concentration camp made by Ben Gaskin. When we go inside here, there are many beds. This is where they would sleep. They're very close together in proximity. Not a lot of space. The people being kept in these camps would have to wake up very early. They would be forced to do all this stuff. Conditions were very bad. We go outside here and we will find a chamber. Very bad things would happen. And yeah, so that's mostly it for the concentration camp. Uh, so yeah, that was made by Ben Gaskin. Next, also by Ben Gaskin, here's the Berlin Wall. This is the Soviet side with all the towers. The lava is supposed to be traps. The traps they would have, they'd have like the tripwire that send off alarms, or like the fence that would set off alarms to those towers there. And we look over to those are the gaps that would need 2 keys to cross over to the other side of the wall. So again, here are the towers, and then there's another view of the gate there. There's a little cow in the way. Another tower. And then this, as I said, this is the Soviet side, and the other side of the wall would be controlled by the Allied powers with United States, Britain, and France. And then that's created by Ben Gaskin. Here is another clip of the Berlin Wall. We have the Berlin airlift with a plane flying over to the Allied side. This went on for 300 plus days, a little less than a year, while the Soviet side blocked off the train, the railroads, and the roads into Berlin, because Berlin is in the middle of the Soviet zone. So the Allied powers would fly over and drop off supplies to the Allied zones inside of Berlin. And so that is that. The plane was built by me and the rest by Ben. Here we have some Japanese planes flying overhead with some aircraft carrier, and there's a destroyer, and then basically a little middle island in the middle that's basically a giant landing strip. So Pearl Harbor was bombed on December 7th, 1941. This was basically just the big kicker to get America into World War II. So we have there's some hangars there, some basically just like the military buildings that were on there. So basically, the reason why Japan bombed Pearl Harbor was more of a preventative action to prevent the United States fleet in that area to threaten Japan's like domination. And because US and Japan were fighting over like negotiations for like the sanctions the United States put on like Japanese goods, like they stopped sending like Japanese like oil and whatnot. There was a total of 180 aircraft destroyed and over 2,000 Americans killed in the bombing at Pearl Harbor. So here we have the storming of Normandy, or D-Day, built by Liam Lincoln Hall. You can see the troop carriers landing on the beach there with the troops inside of them, and here is the German like bunkers built into the cliffside. So D-Day is the biggest seaborne invasion in all of history, and the Allied powers so they made like a fake area, like a fake plan to invade Calais, which was more east and more. It was the closest point basically from Great Britain to Germany, or not Germany, but like the German-controlled France. And so Adolf put a lot of his troops in that Calais while the Allied invaded Normandy. The Normandy invasion was actually delayed by 24 hours due to poor weather conditions, and there was a small opening in the weather, and that's when the Allies took their shot to invade. Um, there were over 10,000 casualties for the Allied powers, with over 4,000 deaths, and for the Germans there were 4,000, around 9,000 people killed, wounded, or like captured. So that is our 2023 AP Euro project.